Hi, Virgo. I'm supposed to be packing and leaving. We're going to do this first. Okay. The belligerence and wanting to take everybody's head off is because your feelings are bubbling to the surface. Uranus enters Taurus, sister sign, Earth energies unite, electrified. That's how you feel. So, anyone who triggered any of your sensors got it from you. I was waiting until after you guys exploded to do your reading because I was not going to be on the receiving end of that. Because no matter what I would have said, I would have triggered you, and that's what we're not trying to do, is trigger you. But you are triggered, and for very good reason. Much of what you have been holding in now starts to come to fruition, and you got to deal with it somehow. You can't ignore it anymore, and so the sensors have become even more sensitive. Your senses are heightened. Your boundary sensitivities are heightened because you feel change approaching. Let's put it a different way. You feel chaos approaching. And how does perfection react in the face of chaos? Ooh! It's the Lover's card. I would just like to point of fact, it's also the Gemini card. So if you are currently dealing with the Gemini, they're coming up very strong in your reading. Let's take a look now. The Emperor, the Devil, the Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Three of Cups, Two of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Nice. All right. Three major arcana to start with. So we've got an Aries, a Capricorn, and a Gemini. We've got your love, your will, and your ego. Good. We like all of this. Then, Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Three of Cups. There are situations that are getting cut away now, which make it possible for you to make a decision. I think in a lot of cases, Virgo, you couldn't make the decisions you wanted and you couldn't act on the feelings that are now bubbling up because parties were not cooperating with you. It's not just you. A lot of times people will be like, oh, well, Virgo, you're so picky. You want it so perfect. That's why things are like this or like this. And you're like, no, no, you're not acting right at all. It's not that I want things to be perfect, but you're not even being appropriate. There's such a difference between appropriate and perfection. I'm not even asking for perfection. I'm just asking that you give me the bare minimum. And you're not even giving me the bare minimum. So I don't know what to do, with you. And for a lot of you, that may have translated into taking a break from someone because they had something going on with somebody else. And you just weren't about that life. But now, the way things are coming back around, that person has had some time and has had some choices to make, and so have you. And the Ace of Pentacles here for me is about you choosing yourself and the universe applauding you in that decision. Because let's be real, the arcana coming out first the way they did means that whoever is supposed to be in your life right now is going to find you. Those cards coming out first is, here's your guidance, here's what you need to know because things are about to get very hectic. So you need to know right away what you're going to be hit with. There's love coming in, and it has a very Gemini energy. There's a lot of love cards, but for that particular one to come up, What does that mean for you? How does a Virgo deal with Gemini love energy? Be very honest, because if there's any sign that can take it, it's us. But also understand that within your honesty, there is so much humility, and you are so helpful. And a lot of times you keep that to yourself, even though there's so many that would benefit from it, because you've been trained through experience to not want to speak, to be gun shy, because you'll be villainized for it, because you're telling a truth that is perhaps so simple and so keen that no one really wants to hear it. A lot of times I feel like Virgos will sit back and not say much because they recognize how everyone just doesn't want to solve the problem at all. They don't even want to really talk about the problem. They want to talk around the problem and just bullshit about the problem. So really, they really like having a problem. In reality, they love their problems because that's how they interact with people. Whereas Virgos like to solve problems. So it's like, why are we sitting here talking about this when we could very easily just do this, or you could just understand this and we could move along. So you have a lot to say, and a lot of times you don't say it even though it's very helpful, because you know from experience that your delivery of things is not taken right. And so you just keep it to yourself. You're like, all right, well, that person, I have something very helpful that would really help that person, an understanding that I have that would really help that person, but I'm not going to tell them because they're not going to be able to handle it, and they'll probably end up taking it out on me in some other way, like I did something wrong. So just forget it. So now is the time to speak. Uranus comes into Taurus, electrifying you. Now is the time to speak. And it is also time to claim, with that Mars energy, what is yours. Things are opening up for you. This is your time where the power is being handed to you. And it's being handed to you in more than one way, which is what I'm psyched about. So there's love, there's power, and there is that Capricorn productive, successful resolve. So to me, it's like your love, your ego, and your integrity are all being honored and recognized and energized, which is great. I mean, it's been a while since you guys had I don't want to say the readings can be positive or negative, but they've been hard. The readings have been emotionally draining. They've been difficult to interpret, even because you have to get so into the confusion. You guys have been in a place where it was, it was hermit mode, because the new understandings that were coming in and the things that you had to face and be honest about were such that, I think this Three of Cups energy is just as much about you as it is about anyone else. Not to say that you were doing something. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that it's about this constant... Virgos have this constant need for external affirmation. And I'm sorry. I know I just called you out here just like that without even prepping you in any way. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm very Virgo moon right now. So I'm just like, I'm channeling your energy back to you. But yes, that was a little harsh, but you can have this sort of destructive third party situation with society. You can be this way with your friends. We've talked about this before. There is such a deep-seated need for you guys to be accepted. And a lot of the self-medicating and all of that also goes along with that same need for approval. And it makes sense because as the social creatures that we are, ostracization in the wild meant death. So we are hardwired genetically to do whatever we have to do to remain within the group. Ironically, though, although the will within you, the need within you is so strong to remain within the group and indeed to be leaders of the group, there is also this constant struggle to rebel, this constant struggle within to say the thing that nobody wants to say, to break the uncomfortable silence, to be sarcastic in a moment of, joy, to be funny in a moment of grief, all that sort of stuff that Virgos will do because you inherently understand the Tao and you understand balance. All of that, look here, all of this comes together now to give you such clarity on yourself. Forget other people. Other people are showing themselves to you exactly how they are. I am not surprised that the Lover's card is the first card out. I'm not surprised at all because I know myself and I know the relationship I have, and I'm like, Geminis are going hard for the Virgos that they love right now. They're just like, okay, I'm tired of this. We're doing this now. We're together. Great. We're together. Okay. Go do your job. Bye. We're not doing this no more. You spiraling like out of control because you can't just say that you love somebody. Stop it. This is what this triggered energy is going to do to you. The next 7 years, this thing that you guys do where you're like, no, I don't have any feelings. No, I'm fine. No, I'm all right. Or you're just like, you know what, let me just go ahead and cut people off instead of telling them that I have feelings. All this nonsense, Uranus and Taurus is not going to allow it. Get ready. Like I've been telling everybody, you've been watching the other readings perhaps. I've been telling people to prep in this way or that way. Get ready. Uranus is going to do this or this or this. Okay, so get ready because for the next 7 to 9 years, you will be triggered. You got something to say? You're going to say it. You're going to live through that Gemini energy. You're going to live through that Emperor energy. You're going to live through that Devil energy. Balance. This is understanding the Tao. This is balance. This is power. You follow this Uranus transit like it wants you to follow it. I mean, it'll drag you if you don't want to follow on your own. I suggest you skip and hop and jump right in front of that motherfucker. That's the Gemini energy. We're not waiting for that thing to come and disrupt us. We're like, oh, disruptive twin? You want to be disruptive? Yeah, we got a twin for that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, you disrupted? Yeah, you crazy, right? Yeah, we got one of those. Hold on. I'll go get her. Do what we do. Get in front of it. You will be a double-edged sword. You absolutely will. The sword of electricity that comes in now is the sword that gives you a voice, and you will not be able to hold it back. If you have thyroid issues, sore throats all the time, you get this sort of sinus issue all through here. The next few years, get yourself on a really good plant-based diet. Do all the things, the herbs, the anti-inflammatories, because you are going to talk. And this entire area is going to get energized and it needs fuel. If you have any of those issues, this chakra is not spinning. You need fuel for that chakra. Wearing light blue around the throat, wearing light blue in general, painting your walls light blue. As a Gemini sun, Virgo moon, to be raised in a house where my walls were all light blue. Like I told my mom years later, I'm like, what did you do? Like, that's just so, throat chakra. She's like, is that why you never shut up? Did I mention she's a Virgo rising? Did I ever mention that my mother's a Virgo rising? No, I think I've been keeping that secret. So, literally that's what she said. She was like, that's why you never shut up? She also says this. You're going to love this as Virgos. Oh, you're going to love this. Her version of a compliment is, you look better today. Your face looks better today. I once said to her, I'm like, the words you're using, the way she says it is, "Tumhara chehra aaj behtar lag raha hai." And so I said to her, the word you're using, I think you're looking for a different word because the word you're using translates to better. What you're saying is your face looks better today. She goes, "Mujhe English bolni aati hai." She said, I know how to speak English. So I said, oh, you meant to say better? And she was like, yeah, that's why I said it. 7 to 9 years of that. Good. I asked my Virgo. So I'm having, I never have any sort of writer's block, performance anxiety, nothing, ever. I'm not that person. I'm just always like, ready. Let's go. Come on. So, turn on the camera. Let's do this. It's just, I don't have whatever that switch is. So, past couple of weeks, I've been noticing that there has been a little bit of that creeping up, and I'm just not sure what to do with it because I've never experienced it. I'm like, what is this? I don't even know how to classify this. Is it fear? Is it fear? So, I asked him, kind of the way I just said it to you, and the first thing he said was, am I the only person how many people have you put this in front of? Have you put this in front of anyone else? And I said, really highly offended, I said, no. You can hear me rolling my eyes. And he said, okay, so you ready? I said, okay. He's like, you're scared because what if it's bad? And I went into a 30-second, bad. No, it's not going to be bad. How could it possibly be? It's amazing. I wrote it for me to read and I read amazing stuff. So it's good. It's great. It's not that at all. But yeah, what if it could be bad? What if it's bad? He just waited for me to, do all that. Didn't say anything. I was like, yeah. So, what if it's bad? And I was like, okay, so what if it's bad? Wait, are you trying to help me right now? Are you trying to bug me out? I'm asking for, and I'm telling you I'm afraid of it, and you're telling me it could be bad. And he's like, no. So, okay, so then it's bad. So, I'm like, no, but I want to write the next great American novel. Okay, so what if you don't? So what if it's only a little bit good? What if it's terrible? So what? Then what? Nothing. Everything's still fine. Facts. So, who cares? So it doesn't matter if it's good or bad? Right. Just do it because I want to. Right. Okay. And I was reminded yet again that even though I do this for a living, I too am in need of a healer. And so I have taken that logical and very intelligent step to be in love with my healer. So that helped. I woke up this morning and I was like, it won't be bad. And that's what I had said on the phone. I was like, but it won't be bad. And he was like, yeah, no, of course it won't. But even if it was. Right. Right. Even if it was. Now see, that is a profound piece of advice that really seriously helped me. And it will help me finish my book, which will help everybody that will read it. And it's a piece of advice that I don't think he would have given to a lot of people because they would have taken it the wrong way. I could have taken it the wrong way. I almost did. For a moment, I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, no, wait, shush. Listen to him. Just let him talk for a second. And then I got it. The simplicity of it. But it cuts like a knife. You guys are so insightful, but it cuts he cut right to the issue of me, which is you're going to stall when you're almost there because it might not be perfect. Bitch, nothing is perfect. He would never call me a bitch. Sorry, because I know you're going to be like, I never use those words. No, but you see what I'm saying? No, nothing is perfect. If you're going to not even entertain the possibility that you might fall on your face, then you are subconsciously expecting perfection. And if you are subconsciously expecting perfection, you will fold. You will not get it done. So get comfortable with the idea that mediocrity is always an option, bae. Just realize that and then know that you're not mediocre and just accept the fact that even though that exists on the spectrum, you are not that. And do your work. But came into the ears as, what if it's bad? Now, anyone who wouldn't take the time to really understand you might see that as a dig, might see it as shade, might see it as someone discouraging you, but only because they're taking for granted that you're coming from a negative place, a place of being a hater or not wanting people to do well, which is so ironic to me because all the Virgos in my life, especially the females, I have so many female Virgo friends, they're always so supportive. They're always the ones who are like, we got you, you got this, you look beautiful, I love you, liking all my photos, commenting under all my posts, like they are my ride or dies. And I get that when they say something to me, no matter how it first sounds in my Gemini ears, or to be frank, in my Mercury and Taurus ears, the way I communicate is very Taurus. It can come off harsh or it can come off wrong. And I've learned how to take that mental space. And I think a lot of people are going to have to learn to take some space and really think about the things you say to them, because you are going to be in your power and you are going to be speaking from truth. And a lot of your truth is not easy to digest. It is not easy to understand. So there's two things that can happen. You can see the next 7 or 8 years as a time of becoming more and more alienated and isolated from the people around you because they just don't get you, and because you become more vocal and more perhaps critical, because you are critical regardless of whether you speak or not. You will find yourself removing yourself more and more from society. And I don't think that that's necessarily the best thing, because we need you and we need your energy and we need your insight. So don't go. Instead, realize that what's coming in is triggering you, that you will be belligerent, that you will be combative with people, because you have a lot that has to come up before you can be clear enough to communicate the things that need to be communicated through this disruption we'll be facing, right? First, your own gunk has to come up and out of the way, and you need to make the decisions that need to be made for your well-being, for your material life and success and security. Once you have that stuff out from inside of you, and that's going to take you having a few blow-ups. You will. You're going to get triggered by people. If you ain't been triggered by an Aries already, you about to be. And not just the one sitting in restaurants minding their business and you getting mad for no reason. All the Aries are going to trigger you because the planet is leaving their sign and moving into a sign that electrifies you. There is a natural jealousy there. Okay? They will be like, I don't want to say they're going to be coming for you, but they're going to irritate you. They're going to bother you. Whether they do it consciously or not, it doesn't matter, but it's going to be pretty tempestuous when it comes to Aries and the way that you feel about them. The Capricorns, they come up steady, but as someone who may very easily get cut off, or they're cutting themselves off from you. Either way, take your space. From all of the stuff that I just mentioned with these two, take the space that you need. Because until you know for sure what's really going on here and what kind of decisions are being made, and I'm not just talking about them, this could easily be you. If you're a little late in the Virgo game and you're more towards the end of Virgo, you haven't come to this point yet, but you're about to, where you realize that this running around play a life isn't for you, you're circling back around. You're circling back around to what is your nature, which is basically serial monogamy. You have decisions to make. You have ties to let go of. Other people have ties to let go of. I think if you're messing with an Aries, they definitely have ties to let go of. If you're messing with a Capricorn or talking to a Capricorn, that's turning into a very messy situation. So I suggest you watch the Capricorn reading for more insight on that. But we'll pull cards for the Devil card in relation to you and what's going on career-wise in the extended. Now, let me show you these cards while we talk more about the major arcana, and then we'll pull outcome and we'll pull all the cards for the extended, so you see them all. And then what we do in the extended is we clarify, and then we do a new shuffle for mid-month going into the next month. So if your reading is more on the late side next month, you have that that you can access whenever. All of them are like instantly streamable or downloadable now. You just go to my website, you can scroll down and access them straight there, or go to the extended readings tab. Other than that, I am doing a book tour of sorts. It didn't start off that way. It was supposed to just be a bunch of satsangs, but since, inshallah, the book will be done by then, thank you, Virgo, I will have them with me. So we're doing New York, DC, Atlanta, Miami, Seattle, Denver, Chicago, Toronto, San Francisco, Oakland. San Francisco, Oakland first, early August. Okay, let me turn this off. I'll be right back and I will show you these cards. Hi. Okay, so let's go one by one, yeah? Now, the way to read the major arcana is to read them in relation to each other especially. Of course, they have their own energy, but it gives you context. That's what we do in the extendeds too. It's just giving more context to what we already know, which is why they're not necessary. But if you're having some sort of an issue that really gets, pinpointed, then of course you have that like, no, but I want to know okay, so I get the general idea of this is the energy coming in, but how do I deal with it? So you can do that with the cards in relation to it as well. So the Lover's card with the Emperor and with the Devil. So if we see these as both clarifiers for the Lovers, what is that telling us? It's telling us that now that part of your life that has to do with love, expression, communication, partnership, the anima and animus within us, the male within the female within the male, all of that, the greater understanding that's reached when one understands that the dual is actually singularity, that duality is in fact a myth, right? That is the Gemini power, is that we can exhibit the duality so completely because we are one. We are so singular. We encompass that higher ideal of integrating the dark and the light. So as clarifiers then on that aspect of your life, which obviously has to do with your internal and external self, you have the power of Mars, the power of Aries, and the power of Saturn, the power of Capricorn. Mars is in Aquarius, Saturn is in Capricorn. What happens now for you is this group of elements like the Infinity Stones. Like Thanos, you have these Infinity Stones and you've been, like you didn't have the gauntlet to put them in. But now you've got the gauntlet on. Now that Uranus comes into Taurus in 2 weeks, you've got the gauntlet on, and then here are your stones, right? So you have power, you have love, and you have productivity, and the balancing of light and dark here as well. These are all messages for you to integrate the more acerbic notes of your nature into your everyday life now. You will have to do so. You will have to do so because Uranus is going to bring that part of you out. And so if you don't integrate it, you will either be at odds with yourself all the time, hating what you're saying and being like, why am I acting like this? Or you can own it, like I said, get in front of that motherfucker. Do what you know that you've been wanting to do and wanting to say before the impetus comes in and pushes you too violently to do it. Handle it within your power still, where you can still modulate what's going on. Because once Uranus starts roaring in this Taurus aspect, you will not be able to help the stuff that you want to call out. I'm telling you, you are this Ace of Swords. For the next 7 years, people better not ask you if they really don't want to know. Like I said, I was telling you about my Virgo. He'll just tell me. He's like, you really want to know? Are you asking me because you really want to know? Or are you just asking? Because... And I'm always like, no, I want to... No. I don't want to know. Never mind. Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But you know what? You got to tell everybody. Everybody's going to learn. Everybody's got to know now. Even those of us who want to run from the truth. No, I don't want to know. I'd be like, he'd be typing, and I'd be like, you've been typing for too long. Back up. Back up and delete half of what you wrote, because I know it's mean, because you've been typing too long. But you know what? Everybody's going to have to deal with you and the scary stuff that you guys know and think and know to be true. You're going to be saying it, but prep yourself. Prep yourself, get clear, and please, this pettiness of nature within yourself and tolerating it within others, please, you don't have room for it, and it will mess you up. You know what this will be like for you? This energy, whether within, listen to me, whether it's within yourself or without yourself, external to yourself. You know what this energy is? This is Kleinfeld. You know Kleinfeld from Carlito's Way? Do me a favor, Virgo. Watch Carlito's Way. Because Carlito is a lot how you guys are going to be for the next few years. Carlito says whatever Carlito wants. Because he's OG. He does not care. We've talked about Carlito's Way actually in a Virgo video before because of the way you guys treat your friends. A favor will kill you faster than a bullet. Remember? I've been with made guys. Real guys. Anyway, sorry. You know what? I got to think for gangster movies. Whatever. So, who is this energy? This is Kleinfeld. Who's Kleinfeld? Kleinfeld is Carlito's lawyer, who's a douchebag, and wants him to help him with something, and it ends up bad for him. Okay? Very, very bad. He has everything in the palm of his hand, and it ends up bad for him because of Kleinfeld. So why do I call this energy of self-medicating, partying too much, sneaking around on people? Why do I call this Kleinfeld? Because it is the part of your nature that you're really friends with. You know, you're really chummy with this aspect of yourself, but it's not good for you, and it's frustrating. Like in Carlito's Way, Carlito knows that Kleinfeld's no good, but he got him out of jail on a technicality, so he owes him his life. And you shaking your head like, yeah, but that's what. No, just because somebody saves your life doesn't mean that you have to give them yours. You can save their life in return, but helping them with their ratchetness is not saving their life in return. You see what I'm saying? When you feel like you guys owe somebody something, you will pay them in kind the way they want you to pay them. No. Now is the time to give us your Virgo healing insight energy, not just go along with the crew. You don't need this. We need you to speak up about what's real, please. Speak up. My friend Rose started a channel. I love her channel. I'll link it. She's just talking real. Like, why are people like this? And why are people like this? And what do you think about African-American women and African-American men dating this or whatever? She's talking about like controversial stuff, and it's awesome to watch because she's being her. She's being completely her. And you know how hard that is for a Virgo? Of course you know. It takes a lot of guts, right? It takes a lot of guts to speak the truths that you guys are thinking all the time. Well, you know what? Please, come on out because we really need you. We really need Taurus to talk and to do. We really need Virgo to talk and to love. And we really need Capricorn to do less. Do less. Everything in its place, right? Everything in its balance. And what do you get for your troubles? For being the double-edged sword? For taking that which usually sits in your mind and you just talk to yourself about it? What happens when you let go of the Kleinfeld destructive part of your own nature or those around you who sabotage you, who help you run away from your own success? What happens when you banish that aspect of yourself? What happens when you let go of the vacillating and the indecision? Success. Handed to you out of thin air, right when you're ready, immediately. As soon as you make the shift, Virgo, it will be there. Immediate, instant. Why? Because it's waiting, because it's ready, because it's yours. But it needs you to vibe with it. You can't vibe with it like this. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to turn you. I didn't mean to yell at you. Temperance, another Virgo card. Great. I like this. Balance the heart and mind. Scorpio, the Death card. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, and the Magician. Okay, listen. The extended is all about what you need to let go of so you can get clear to do the work. But it's also about the people who are keeping you from getting clear and doing the work. And grudges that you're holding on to that don't even really apply, you're turning yourself around. Bottom of the deck, 3 of... I start messing up my D's and TH's when I'm going back to Europe. It's such a, I know you can hear it in my voice. It's like my body's already prepping for being over there. 3 of Wands, that Taurus card, I was looking for that. 5 of Swords, I was surprised it didn't come up actually already. 5 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, underneath the grudges, Virgo. Underneath the suspicion that are based on the grudges that y'all still holding on to. I cannot. 10 of Pentacles. There we go. 6 of Cups. 7 of Wands. 10 of Swords. 9 of Swords. The Star. Well, yeah. Aquarians. You're there. The pain, we'll look at it. We'll look at it in the extended. So, Virgo, what's the takeaway? Fire, earth, air. Take it. Think with it. Sit on it. Come out of your indecision. Use the resolve and the power and the intelligence that is being given to you. Banish that which is obviously going to stand in your way, because let me tell you what all this truth telling is going to be about, all this insight that's going to come in. It will translate to enormous financial success, but not with this self-image, it won't. You see where the problems are going to come up? The power and the resource, the raw material is all given to you now. Where's the problem going to come up? That's what we'll look at in the extended, and I'm sure we'll be looking at it for the rest of the year. But it's all going to be a journey in clarification now for you guys. Just clearing out, clearing out, clearing out. So the channel gets so pure that you're just spitting facts. I state real facts. Call me Snapple Caps. All right? I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the extended, and I'll see you in June.